Hello and welcome to US Visa Info, your trusted source for the latest updates and insights on immigration matters that impact lives across the nation. Today, we're diving into a pressing issue that's causing sleepless nights for countless immigrants, a situation unfolding right now that could drastically alter your path to stability in America or affect those closest to you. This isn't merely another headline in the immigration landscape, it's a stark reality involving genuine individuals, devoted families, and profound repercussions that can shatter the American dream with a single denied application. If you're tuning in as a green card holder contemplating citizenship or navigating the complexities of your immigration process, the information ahead could be pivotal in safeguarding your future, distinguishing between a secure life with your loved ones and the threat of removal proceedings. My goal isn't to alarm you, but to equip you with essential knowledge, because in the current immigration environment, preparation is not just advisable, it's imperative for survival. Let me introduce you to Maria, not her actual name, but her experience is authentic and mirrors the struggles of many others you might not even realize are facing similar ordeals. Maria hails from the Philippines, having arrived in the United States years ago, where she found love, married a U.S. citizen, and pursued her green card through that marital bond, much like thousands of others do each year. At first, everything appeared flawless. Her initial 2-year conditional green card was granted after thorough scrutiny by authorities who reviewed evidence of their relationship, conducted interviews, and concluded it was a legitimate, love-based union. She and her husband were forging a shared existence, progressing as expected under the law. As mandated after those 2 years, they submitted a joint petition to lift the conditions on her residency, bolstering their case with additional proof. More photographs capturing their moments together, expanded joint financial records like bank statements, and further documentation affirming the ongoing authenticity of their marriage. Remarkably, the government once again gave its approval, examining all submissions closely and issuing Maria a full 10-year green card. By this stage, she had undergone vetting and received endorsements from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services not once, but twice, providing her with every assurance that her immigration foundation was unshakable. Advancing several years forward, Maria had established herself as a lawful permanent resident, adhering meticulously to regulations, fulfilling tax obligations, avoiding any legal troubles, and deeply embedding herself in American life, perhaps refining her English skills, cultivating friendships, and rooting herself firmly in her community. Like numerous immigrants who develop a profound affection for this nation, she resolved to advance further by pursuing U.S. citizenship, envisioning the privileges of voting, jury service, and holding an American passport to fully engage in her adopted homeland. Accordingly, she completed her N-400 naturalization form, remitted the required fees, dispatched her documents, and anticipated her interview. However, the events that unfolded next were utterly unforeseen, upending her world and compelling her to reevaluate her presumed secure status in this country. During what she expected to be a routine citizenship interview, focused on civics knowledge and English proficiency, she was instead met with grave allegations. The USCIS officer revealed that a comprehensive review of her entire immigration history, dating back to her initial applications, had led them to conclude that her foundational marriage, the very one that secured her green card, was fraudulent, labeling it as a sham or fixed union under immigration statutes. They asserted that her bond with her U.S. citizen spouse was never authentic or bona fide. Pause for a moment to grasp the gravity. This transcended a mere rejection of her citizenship bid. It was an indictment from USCIS implying that her green card, previously sanctioned twice, was erroneously awarded from the outset. They were undermining the legitimacy of her entire legal presence in the United States. Compounding the devastation, the officer disclosed a signed affidavit from her husband himself, attesting that the marriage had never been consummated, indicating no intimate marital relations, which immigration authorities might interpret as a sign of inauthenticity. Imagine yourself in Maria's shoes. After years of lawful residency, compliance with every directive, and multiple governmental validations, You're abruptly informed that your foundational narrative was flawed, that fraud tainted your green card acquisition, and that beyond citizenship denial, deportation looms as a possibility. Your constructed life, home, career, social ties, aspirations, all teeter on the brink due to claims resurrecting past events. Maria vehemently maintains that her marriage was genuine, rooted in true affection, and she remains baffled by her husband's alleged statement or the context surrounding it. This complexity underscores a vital truth for all viewers. In today's intensified immigration scrutiny and enforcement, no aspect of your immigration history is irrevocably resolved or immune to reevaluation. You might reassure yourself that a green card approval or successful condition removal equates to security, yet Maria harbored identical convictions after 2 affirmations and years of stable residency, only for her citizenship pursuit to unearth and weaponize her past. This represents the evolving paradigm of immigration enforcement, demanding awareness and readiness from everyone within the system. To contextualize this trend and its growing prevalence, consider that a citizenship application prompts USCIS to extend beyond verifying present eligibility criteria, such as residency duration of 5 years generally, or 3 if wed to a U.S. citizen, demonstrating good moral character and proficiency in English and civics. Instead, they retrieve your complete A file, scrutinizing every prior submission, petition, interview response, and supporting material anew. In this contemporary setting, officers receive training to detect inconsistencies or anomalies suggestive of fraud or deceit, cross-referencing historical green card interview answers with current citizenship responses, aligning spousal statements across timelines, and verifying residential claims, relational authenticity, and absence of immigration-motivated unions. For Maria, the focal accusation centered on non-consummation, which immigration law views as potential, but not definitive, evidence of a non-genuine marriage, evaluated amid broader circumstances like cohabitation, financial intertwining, public portrayal as a couple, and shared experiences. Legitimate explanations for non-consummation exist, including health concerns, faith-based choices, or personal factors, with the overall context determining validity. Yet, USCIS evidently secured a spousal declaration they deemed fraudulent proof, shifting the onus onto Maria to reaffirm her marriage's legitimacy years later, countering aged allegations and a purportedly self-incriminating statement. A daunting challenge highlighting key takeaways for immigrants. Foremost, recognize that your immigration dossier endures indefinitely. Every filing, interaction, and artifact integrates into an eternal USCIS archive, subject to resurrection during future benefit applications like citizenship. Thus, precision, honesty, and exhaustiveness in all submissions are paramount, as mismatches, even minor, can resurface detrimentally, irrespective of initial approvals. Secondly, prior sanctions offer no perpetual shield. Green card endorsements or condition lifts don't preclude subsequent probes into those same bases, with each new request inviting holistic historical audits, especially amid today's fraud eradication focus, fostering rigorous, doubtful examinations. Thirdly, minutiae wield immense influence. What you perceive as trivial variances, such as differing recollections of meeting venues, party versus restaurant, guest counts at weddings, 50 versus 75, or living details, may signal fabrication to fraud-vigilant officers, despite stemming from natural memory lapses. In my extensive immigration law practice, I've encountered innumerable authentic marriages derailed by such discrepancies. One spouse recalling Sunday grocery runs while the other cites Saturdays, or discrepancies in joint account tallies due to overlooked minor holdings. These human imperfections morph into perceived deceptions under scrutiny. Fourthly, the prevailing political and enforcement milieu amplifies risks. USCIS personnel face mounting directives to reject suspect cases, particularly marriage-based ones prone to abuse, cultivating an atmosphere of inherent mistrust where applicants receive scant leniency, and anomalies trigger pursuit rather than pardon. Fifthly, denial ramifications have escalated. Formerly, citizenship rejections preserved green card status for retrees, but now, fraud-based denials can trigger deportation by retroactively invalidating residency, transforming an anticipated celebratory interview into an existential threat. Addressing Maria's next steps and guidance for analogous predicaments begins with resilience. A denial, even fraud-rooted, isn't terminal, with appeals, defenses, and legal avenues available. But professional counsel is indispensable, given the intricacies and stakes precluding self-navigation. Her lawyer must amass retrospective evidence validating the marriage, historical cohabitation proofs like shared leases or mortgages, dual-named utilities, comprehensive bank and credit statements, beneficiary-designated insurances, chronological photos from events, trips, and festivities, plus sworn affidavits from acquaintances affirming relational genuineness. Directly confronting the husband's statement involves probing its context, rights awareness, potential coercion, comprehension, linguistic hurdles, or misrepresentation, potentially securing a retraction or clarification as pivotal. Expanding on these strategies, consider the broader implications for preparation. Immigrants should proactively maintain meticulous records from marriage onset, documenting every facet of shared life to preempt future challenges, consulting attorneys early to align narratives and address vulnerabilities. Moreover, understanding USCIS's fraud detection evolution, incorporating advanced data analytics, cross-agency collaborations, and enhanced interviewer training emphasizes the need for vigilance. For instance, social media footprints now factor in, where inconsistent online portrayals can undermine claims. In Maria's narrative, this underscores how ex-spousal cooperation, or lack thereof, can pivot outcomes, advising open dialogues and, if separations occur, amicable resolutions to avert vengeful statements. Statistically, while exact figures on such retroactive denials remain opaque, anecdotal surges in immigration forums and legal consultations indicate a trend, particularly post-policy shifts emphasizing integrity. To mitigate, applicants might pursue preemptive file reviews via Freedom of Information Act requests, unearthing potential issues beforehand. For those in stable marriages, reinforcing bonds through ongoing joint activities bolsters defensibility, while cultural nuances, such as arranged marriages common in some origins, require explicit explanations to align with U.S. norms. Educationally, resources like USCIS's own guides, reputable nonprofits, and certified attorneys provide tools for navigation, yet caution against unverified online advice risking misinformation. Maria's ordeal also illuminates systemic inequities, where resource-limited immigrants face disproportionate barriers and rebuttals, advocating for policy reforms toward fairer processes. Nonetheless, hope persists. Many overcome such hurdles through diligent advocacy, emerging stronger with citizenship attained. In essence, this story serves as a cautionary beacon. Approach immigration with unwavering diligence, treating each step as interconnected to your overarching journey. By internalizing these lessons, eternal records, non-guaranteed approvals, detailed significance, enforcement climate, and elevated consequences, you empower yourself against unforeseen pitfalls. Remember, immigration isn't merely bureaucratic, it's profoundly human, intertwining dreams, families, and futures. Stay informed, prepared, and proactive to protect yours. Thank you for joining us on US Visa Info. If this content resonates, please like, share, and subscribe to receive timely immigration news, expert analyses, and real-world stories designed to safeguard your path in America. Until next time, stay vigilant and informed.